Every little girl needs their daddy. I don't know how many times I heard that growing up, right? Every little girl needs their daddy. On the heels of being beaten or molested, every little girl needs their daddy. Ladies, we have got to stand up. We have got to stand up and take responsibility for what is going on within our own homes, right? It is time for us to be a mom, right? Every child on this planet needs a mom. That is true, right? As above, so below. That cord does not just get severed in the physical, right? In my practice, I see grown adults who have been adopted, whose moms have decided to hand them over to a stranger at 50, searching for their mothers. They're not out searching for their daddies. I've not witnessed that. They're out searching for their moms, right? When my father died last year and declared to the world, or not to the world, I wish, to my brother, that he had molested me, right? And my brother decided to withhold that information for well over a year and then withdraw it. Yeah? That is the kind of abuse that people deal with on the back end of these horrific incidents. And what do? I try to call my mom. And I say to her, Mom, like, just this one time, just be a mom for me today because I need a mom. Right? And instead of standing up and saying, oh my gosh, Cherie, like this is on one hand some amazing information, and on the other hand, I'm real sorry that that this was the choice made by this other human being, right? Instead, blame to my dad. And I'm like, listen, the abuse with my dad stopped when I was 17, right? And I'm 61. And the perpetuation of abuse has not been him, right? It has not been him. It has been every other person within that scenario. And I'm not unique. I deal with this with families over and over again, right? What the extended family does with those abusive situations on the back end has more impact than the actual abuse itself. Now, this became very clear to me because my daughter, right, at 3, at church of all places, right, was propelled into a sexual situation, right? And because she had the words, right? Because we had talked about these sort of interactions and she was prepared. She had words to walk out of that situation and say, Mommy, right? This man did this, that, and the other, right? And he ended up in jail that night. And she got to go identify him. And she got to describe him. And she knew at the end of the day that Mom and Dad fought for her. How many of us can say that? Right? We all deserve that. And you know what? Today, if you ask her, she's experienced no trauma, right? And if you bring up that incident, she'll say, oh, weird, I forget that happened to me. Yeah, that can be. It's not the actual incident itself per se. It's what everyone does with it. And we have to take ownership of that. The adults have to take ownership of that, right? And stand up and say, hey, wait, no, a child does not need a daddy like you. If you're going to behave that way, then you need to go live somewhere else. And likewise with Mom, if she is going to choose to cross over into those taboo, horror-causing spaces, we don't need her either. Yeah?